Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast. This is Central Texas Life with Ann Harder.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Central Texas Events. And tell you what, the Waco Community Band, a very important part of this community, celebrating 43 years.
That's right.
I understand this year. And Dr. John Conrad, who is the conductor of the Waco Community Band. And it's celebrating 43. We're celebrating with you as well. Just got that doctor.
Out of the way. It's behind me now. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So it's a doctor of music education.
Musical arts.
Musical arts. And how long a process have you been working on that?
A few years. I took the long route. It's normally a 3-year degree, so I went a little extra.
And your day job is at MCC, correct?
Yes, correct. I'm the director of bands at MCC, and I'm also the coordinator of the music department. Finished my first year doing that, and so those are kind of my two big responsibilities there.
Man, they keep putting it on you.
Yeah, piling up.
But the community band has been yours for a few years now, right? How many years?
I just we're about to finish my 8th year there.
Is it 8 years?
8 years already.
I was going to guess 4. It's been a while since we had a chance to talk, but what a great group of musicians. I mean, it truly is a community band. You don't have any paid musicians, right?
No paid musicians. It's everyone from someone who lives down the street to who's retired to active professionals, any field, as long as they can play and play well, we want them in our ensemble.
Well, you've had a great season, and you're wrapping up the season on June 11th.
Right.
And what really caught my eye is it's sort of geared toward young people. And, my passion for music and kids with the Waco Symphony and the children's concert series, anything that's going to kind of focus on young people, I'm all about. So let's talk about that concert. It's coming up on the 11th at 7:30 there at MCC, at the Wilbur A. Ball Performing Arts. Great venue, easy to get to. But you've got really a fun program.
Yeah, we're trying this for the first time since I've been here. It may not be the first time we've ever done this in title.
I don't remember.
But we're looking for ways to bring in new audiences all the time, and I thought, well, why haven't we done this? So there's music. None of it. Not all of it is Disney kind of themed. It's
there's a little of that.
There's there is that, and then there's also things that are more from the classical realm, like Ravel's Bolero. We're doing an arrangement of that, and where they're going to hear every instrument play the same solo, so they get to hear it numerous times. Man, so it's a catchy tune. Yeah. And a little tour
and
of the instruments.
It's kind of the same little refrain that's played
exactly
over and over and
so they'll get to hear all the
instruments
instruments play it, and then there's things that are more metallic, like the first piece by John Mackey, Foundry, written a little over 10 years ago. Has bowls, kitchen bowls, and piles of metal, and just different sound chains and things like that, and whips in the back. So there's a lot of
How
bright
fun
sounds,
is
metallic,
that?
very flashy. So there are things like that. And then
cowbell, right?
Exactly. Yep.
There's
definitely cowbell in there. Yep.
A little more cowbell, baby.
Yeah, and there's just a lot of variety, things that are going to appeal to children, and like we've been saying, children at heart as well. So it's not just for children. So everybody, it'll appeal to everyone, but especially children.
Well, and what a great excuse to bring the kids and grandkids and expose them to music. What I love about the Children's Symphony series is to stand up there as narrator and see these kids for the first time they hear maybe a fanfare or something from live musicians. They literally jump. I mean, it's just so awesome. Do you remember the first time you heard a live band or live orchestra? Or did you grow up?
I don't, I think I started going to those after my exposure in middle school, first time.
Yeah.
So the first time I really got to go to a symphony was probably after that. It was, for me, it was the musicals growing up. So I remember going into staring down into the music pit and seeing the pit musicians down there and the conductor. And I had good seats so I could be right there behind the conductor conducting them. So I think that was maybe my first experience.
Well, this one that's coming up on the 11th, is there a ticket charge?
No, it's free. So it's a perfect venue, perfect time to bring someone who, may not be able to sit completely still for the whole time. We are not worried about, if you feel like applauding, applaud. Don't feel like it's not stuffy. You don't have to feel like am I doing this out at the right time or not? No, come on in, have fun, enjoy yourself, and bring your family.
Well, you mentioned some of the things. You've got John Philip Sousa. Of course, when I think about a band, I think of maybe a Sousa. And Sousa wrote something called the Mother Hubbard March.
He did. We're performing that. It's based off of various nursery rhymes in 2.5 minutes. So you'll hear some familiar catchy tunes in there that John Philip Sousa put into a march in march form, in his traditional form, and so it's got signatures of Sousa, but it's got some fairy tale kind of vibes in there.
Well, and you've got some John Williams. So how different is the orchestration for a band as opposed to symphonic?
Well, of course, we're lacking the string section, which plays a real dominant role in the orchestra. So it has to be reorchestrated into various instruments throughout the bands. We have saxophones, they don't. We have euphoniums, they don't. We have a larger percussion section, they tend not to. So we find crafty ways to put that in there, and it sounds really good. We're playing his throne room scene, the music from the throne room scene.
Yes.
In the finale, the end credits. So that's the little sneak peek of what we're going to be doing with John Williams. So.
Well, it's going to be an awesome concert. It really is going to be a lot of fun for everybody. And about how many seats will that auditorium hold?
We have room for 350.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, but plan to get there maybe early. It's first come seating.
Yeah, to get preferred parking, you should probably get there about 20 to 30 minutes early and make sure that way you get seated, you get a program, read through it, and be ready for the music.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about the band itself. I know you've got people who've been playing in it for years and years and years. Maybe somebody out there is like, I haven't played my clarinet in a while, but I'd like to maybe brush up on it. Yeah, is there an audition process for your next season? How does that work?
Yeah, we have an audition process. Everyone in there has auditioned at some point to get in, and then they can go to wacocommunityband.org, and it explains how to do that. The audition repertoire. There's people to contact if you are from a certain section. You want to contact the section leader for that ensemble, and then they'll arrange it. And oftentimes I'll sit in on that as well. People with music degrees sometimes don't have to audition because they've been trained already, and we don't have to worry about that as much. But yes, there's a process, a formal process. Unfortunately, we're so big that we're not at a level now any longer where you can just come in, sit down, and open up your case. We need to be a little bit more selective, which is good. The caliber of the ensemble has gone up because of that too.
So how many members in your group?
This concert, we have almost 70 for this concert. Typically, we're around 55 to 60 members. So we're a little larger this concert set. We're not looking just to pad the sections. It's everyone who's in there deserves to be there, and it's a great sounding group because of that. So we're just a little bigger and a little louder. So
yeah, oh man, that's awesome. I'm really so happy to hear how well things are going. How often do you rehearse? And this is the finale of your season. Well, not really, because July 4th.
Right.
You always
there's an asterisk there.
Always play the July 4th fireworks. Let's talk a little bit about that while we have a minute.
Yeah, we rehearse once a week, Tuesday nights, on the MCC campus, and then we will. It's just 90 minutes a week. That's it, 90 minutes, and we're working hard. There's not a lot of time there's time before and after for conversation and fellowship.
Yeah,
but we buckle down and go 100 miles an hour during rehearsal. Then this will, like you said, be our finale for the season, for our 43rd season. And then we will, I said there's an asterisk, we will play at the 4th of July at Touchdown Alley on Baylor's campus like we do during the fireworks after all the main stage events go on.
Yeah, and you've been doing that for ever.
Quite some time before it moved over there. While I've been here, it's always been there. But before I got here, I understand it was downtown. And
the community band was always there to play patriotic music, and so you've always kind of got those things in your hip pocket, are always rehearsed and ready to go with several other John Philip Sousa marches, I'm sure.
Right, plenty of Washington Post and Stars and Stripes and all the classics.
All the ones you expect.
Exactly.
So let's look ahead to next season. Have you already started planning your planning for next year?
A little bit. We're still putting all the puzzle pieces in. We're got some ideas, some framework, but nothing really, nothing specific yet.
Now you normally perform there on the MCC campus at the Wilbur A. Ball Performing Arts Center, but do you ever kind of branch out and go to other venues?
Yeah, occasionally we do. The hardest part is we only have 5 or 6 rehearsals. So if we add in a Tuesday in there, then we're short by one rehearsal. But sometimes we'll travel. We have in the past out to Meadowbrook Baptist Church. We've been to the church off of the Methodist, United Methodist off of First United Methodist off of
Cobb's. Yeah.
Yep, on Cobb's.
Right. Yeah, I know that y'all have done.
So we do get out
there.
occasionally. We like getting out. It's always a matter of logistics and trying to find what's available and what suits the needs of them and us as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, it's exciting. I mean, it's wonderful to see how well things are going with the Waco Community Band. Your vision for the future. I mean, what do you see in the coming years?
Oh,
an even larger group, maybe a spin-off group. Or?
Yeah, hopefully a more refined group. We're never satisfied. We love what we do and we sound wonderful. But we're musicians and we're artists and we're always trying to find ways to make our craft just that much better. So. Of course, every time that's our goal, and who knows, maybe a large group, maybe guest artists, guest soloists, guest conductors. There's always new ways to put some flair on the program.
Well, it's going to be a great concert, and again, this is June 11th. No charge.
No charge.
At MCC at the Wilbur A. Ball Performing Arts.
We want people to play for.
Exactly. Yeah, you want an audience, but especially the youngsters. Getting those kiddos there, they'll thoroughly enjoy it. I mean, music is kind of a universal language.
It is, really is.
So, but I like to end these little visits with a little questionnaire similar to the
ready.
one that late, great James Lipton would use on Inside the Actors Studio. So I'm going to ask you, John, what is your favorite word?
Ooh. Favorite word? Wow. Wow, that's a tough one. Maybe it's more of a compliment that the greatest compliment I could receive would be bravo, I guess. So we'll go with that. Music related. We'll go with bravo.
That's a good word. What about your least favorite word?
One that I'm used all too often, like or I guess that's 2 words, but.
Okay, good. What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
I think seeing my peers succeed, a lot of my music colleagues, when they are kind of, it's almost a competitive kind of, I saw them do that. It inspires me to want to get better. So, anything that when my colleagues succeed, I really like to. That's what inspires me.
Mm-hmm. What turns you off then, creatively, or spiritually, or emotionally?
I think when I try to be collaborative, so I think I don't know if it turns me off, but I try to find ways to be collaborative with others.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I love to ask this of musicians. What sound do you love the most?
Well, I'm a little biased. I'm a trumpet player, so of course I've got to go with the trumpet sound. But there's just that. I'm a wind band conductor. I prefer to. That's just where I live, is in the wind band. So I love orchestra and choir and everything else. But I think the contemporary modern wind band is something that I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm. Then what is your least favorite sound?
This morning, my 3-year-old was playing a recorder. So I might go with that.
Maybe not that part of the wind band, right?
But my 10-year-old was also playing the recorder in that. So it's not the recorder. It's just maybe the person playing it.
All right. Okay, so what other profession would you like to have tried, or maybe still may want to try?
Coming from Oklahoma, the University of Oklahoma, they have the National Weather Service there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's based out of Norman, Oklahoma. And anytime we get storms around here, I'm staring up at the sky. So my wife always says I should have been a weather chaser or a meteorologist. So who knows, maybe that, or photography.
Yeah. Then what profession do you know you would not want to do? No thanks. I'll stay away.
I think anything behind a desk I would not be very good at because I like to be active. And so being anchored to that would probably not be the best job for me.
And then one last question. What do you want to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Hopefully I've left a positive mark in the music world, something along those lines. I try to develop our profession and our craft and share it with others. So hopefully that I've succeeded in that.
Not that he would say, you should have asked for more cowbell.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Oh, John, it's been fun. It's so good to catch up with you again. It's been a while since we've had a chance to talk. Dr. John Conrad, who is the director of the Waco Community Band, June 11th, mark it down. It's going to be great. That evening at 7:30.
Correct.
Take the kids and the grandkids, neighbor kids, who all, because it's a free concert and it's going to be tailor-made for the young and the young at heart. Thanks,
That's right.
John.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us for Central Texas Events. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Central Texas Life with Ann Harder is part of the Rogue Media family. Be sure to check out our other shows at roguemedianetwork.com. Please rate this show 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or anywhere you get your podcasts. Join us again soon for more Central Texas Life with Ann Harder.